Welcome to a very special Void video interview featuring the one and the only Count Dracula.
Hello, Evie Jordans. It's great to be on your show today.
I'm glad to have you here, Dracula. This has been a lifelong dream of mine to meet such a famous vampire as yourself. So
Stop! You're making me blush if I had any blood in me. Actually, don't stop. You can keep doing that all you want.
Well, Dracula, you've got a brand new show on RetroTV right now, airing every Friday. Why don't you tell people about it real quick before we get started?
Well, it's called Dracula's Kung Fu Theater, and it stars me, Dracula. And basically, I have a collection of glorious Kung Fu VHS films that I keep in my vault back here. It's my very special VHS vault, and I want to show them to the world. I figured out, hey, we have all this technology now. All it takes is like an iPhone in my castle, and boom, you got the TV show, baby. Name recognition goes a long way.
Oh yeah. I mean, people, come watch for the kung fu, but also they're there because you're Dracula.
Well, it doesn't hurt. It's just a vehicle, basically, for me to give these treasures to the world.
Absolutely. Well, you've definitely shown us some treasures so far.
Yes.
To get started here, Dracula, let's talk a little bit about kung fu before we kind of get into a little deeper discussion that's more about you,
Absolutely.
Let's go back to the beginning. Where did your love of kung fu films first begin?
Well, it was a while ago, and I was feeling very sad that I couldn't see a sunrise. This only happens about once every other month or so. But I had gone into the cinema, where you can see a sunrise, doesn't hurt at all. And they were showing Fist of Legend, a kung fu film that had punches and kicks and action and drama, and it made me laugh. And baby, I'm done after that. That's my genre, man.
Oh,
I started watching those, and I just can't stop. It became my new addiction.
That's awesome. So it was such an organic thing that you just happened into this movie, and it changed your whole perception of cinema. I love that.
That's exactly right. Before that, it was just trains coming towards the screen.
How many kung fu films would you say that you've actually seen now? Because I mean, you've been alive a really long time, and I'd imagine that escaping real sunlight lends itself to a lot of movie watching.
Yes, that's very accurate. Gosh, hard to put a number on it. I'm going to say all of them. When you've been alive for as long as I have, and so very lonely, there's not a whole lot else to do. So you just watch a lot of kung fu movies, baby.
Yeah, you probably have seen all of them. That's a good point. I didn't think of it that way, but you've been alive more years than they've been making kung fu movies, so you got them beat by a long shot.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, I've seen some other stuff too, but most of it was crap.
You always came back to the kung fu, huh?
How can you not?
Well, do I'm curious. Do you practice martial arts yourself, or do you know any fellow vampires who practice a little kung fu?
Well, I have developed my own style. I call it Dracula style.
Okay.
It's something I invented, which is far too dangerous for mere mortals to try and use.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I would show it off, but it's something I'm going to try and keep secret. I don't want anyone to hurt themselves at home.
Yeah, you wouldn't want those techniques falling into the wrong hands,
You're telling me, pal. The only other vampire I really have ties to is Nosferatu, but that guy's a snooze.
Yeah, he doesn't talk a lot either.
Get him out of his crypt,
Yeah, he's a quiet fellow.
Yeah, you can hear him creak when he moves. No kung fu for that guy.
Well, I think honestly, Dracula, that a vampire kung fu story would make for a great film. Maybe like a misunderstood vampire who's secretly a kung fu expert, and he saves his local Transylvanian village from an evil scourge. We could call it The Vampire with the Secret Kung Fu.
That's true. I like that idea. Yes. Who would you get to play the vampire?
I mean, I only know one vampire, so...
Brad Pitt, baby. It's got to be Brad Pitt, right?
Okay, Brad Pitt, yeah.
Okay. Hey, call me up when you start making that one, man. I would love to have a cameo.
Well, as soon as we get done, I'm going to call Brad up, and I'm going to see if he's available this weekend, and we'll start shooting,
Oh, yeah. Hey, send me his number, too. That guy owes me some money.
All right, I'll do that. During your run of these kung fu watching streaks, did you ever happen to meet any famous martial artists from the films you've seen? And
yeah, sure.
a bonus question to that is, if so, was it before or after you stopped drinking human blood, and how did it go?
Well, I've been moving on to the pig's blood very recently. This is probably in the last year to 11 months. I've decided to make this. So it was all before. Although yes, I've met Carter Wong, who is in a number of our episodes.
Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
a legend. One of my best friends in the world is Bruce Lee, L.I., right? Bruce L.I.
Yeah.
He is also in one of our films. And I did meet Bruce Lee, L.E.
How did that go?
Well, he died shortly after that. I killed him.
Okay. Well, I guess I thought of a fun little activity here. I think since we see you in your show persona all the time, and we see Dracula on camera, I want to get to know Dracula personally a little bit. So
okay, I'm ready for that.
I want to launch us into what I'm dubbing the rapid fire question session.
Okay.
And because I have to give everything a silly name, and usually it rhymes, because it's better if it rhymes. So that way everybody can everybody can get to know you a little better. And so I'm going to ask you 10 questions, and you answer them as quickly as you can. And as soon as you give me your answer for one, I'm going straight to the next.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Let's begin. What is your dream vacation destination?
Disney World.
What's a personal item you can't live without?
My coffin. I literally can't live without that.
Who have you met that you wish you hadn't?
Pete the Werewolf.
What's your greatest accomplishment?
I would say probably having a book written about me that was by the Bram Stoker, who decided to chronicle my life, and then having a TV show that I get to spread to millions of people across the world. Oh, no, wait. It was that time I killed Van Helsing. Yes.
Okay.
We'll go with that one. That was the big one.
That's close. They're close,
Yeah, very close.
What about your worst failure?
I never got to meet Joan Rivers.
Oh.
Yeah, I hear that lady was wild in the sack.
What about your biggest pet peeve?
That would also be Pete the Werewolf. Shut up, Pete!
What about the best tasting type of blood? What animal has the best?
Ooh, that's a tough
blood?
one. Oh, the best animal. I don't want to say fat rich people.
But fat rich people.
I didn't say it. You said it.
I'll take ownership for that one. What about? I know what you were thinking there. Blood type. Which one's the best type?
Oh,
whatever kind the fat rich people have.
I mean, you said it. Right? I don't know. B negative has a to it. I don't know. It's weird. It's tart.
Okay. All right. I'll keep that in mind. If I ever, run into a count and get transformed. How old were you when you had your worst hairstyle ever, and what was it?
Well, I've been rocking this bad boy probably for, I don't know, a century or 9. I had a mullet when I was 13. That's what they call it, yeah? Where it's party in the front and business in the back. I thought it was cool.
Something like that.
I thought it was a cool mullet.
I think I could picture a young Drac,
I was hot.
How about your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn, Drac?
We don't really do Halloween too much in Transylvania because typically the general populace is terrified for most of the year anyway. I mean, you look at this and it's not like a costume, it's a way of life. Right, yeah. Understandable. I don't know. I'll say a ghost because you just throw a sheet on, you're good to go.
I also feel like Halloween there is dangerous because you don't know the real monsters from the fake monsters, right?
Well, there used to be a very real monster, but not anymore. Now
not anymore.
It's a super nice
That's
guy
right.
who you would invite to any Halloween party, you know?
That's right. That's right. If you had to describe yourself, Drac, in 3 words to close out our rapid fire question session, what 3 words would you describe yourself with?
Kung Fu Dracula. Because I have a TV show where I show Kung Fu movies. It's the name of the show, see?
I love it.
It's very funny. I have made a joke of this. It made me laugh.
Well, you did great on a rapid fire question session,
Good,
Drac.
thank
I
you.
feel like we're already best friends.
Well, me too. That's so sweet. We should keep the emails going.
We should. The World Wide Web is a wonderful thing.
I type really fast.
And I found out on one of your episodes that the World Wide Web and online are the same thing.
Yeah, who knew, right?
Right? Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't even remember where I read that, but I figured it's on the internet, so it's true.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Why would they lie?
We just said fat rich people taste the best, and that's going to be on the internet. So,
I mean, you said that. I'm not going to disagree with you. But you know. Is there a way that we can pause for a moment? Because it seems as though my hair is running.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Don't there must be some sunlight creeping in.
Yes. Well, I don't want to talk about how this is it's
Oh,
there, I said it.
No. We
One
can't
moment.
let people see that. We can't let people hear you
No,
say
one
that.
moment.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Drac. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm back, baby. I'm back.
All right.
Thanks, Howard.
Howard, man. Look at that. Look at that. We got the thumbs up from Howard.
That's my boy right there.
Well, I think that, you know, as a vampire, you're very aware that there's a lot of common misconceptions that people have about vampires. And I think that, you know, since we have arguably the best source available here to debunk some of these misconceptions, why not do that? I'm going to list some things that people tend to regard as like fact about vampires, and
Sure.
you can tell me how true or false these things are.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. All right. Let's start with garlic. Do you actually hate it?
True. But mostly just because I think it tastes like soap, and also anything I eat just causes me to furiously vomit blood.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's not a personal thing against garlic as much as it is.
No,
just
hey, I'm not going to bag anybody loving this stuff. It's just for me personally. I don't need it around.
Okay. Fair. Because, you know, I'm a purveyor of a good garlic bread loaf, you know.
Oh, sure. And you're not alone in that. I'm not going to eat it. Just going to say that. I don't really eat anything.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing I've ever seen you consume is pig's blood, so that's fair. Well, I've seen you consume other stuff in movies, but I don't know how real that was or not. I'm gonna tell myself it was fake.
Yes, all the time that was fake. There's no violence being perpetrated by this Dracula.
Well, how about mirrors, Drac? Have you ever actually seen your own reflection?
Not in a mirror. No, that part is true. In fact, the first time I ever saw myself was in a portrait that was done by a painter. And then when they made cameras, it was like, oh, this is what I look like. Okay, sick. I'm pretty handsome.
Yeah. How many years ago was that now that you first got, you know, recorded on camera?
I believe it was 86. It had one of those cool laser backgrounds.
I think I got a copy of that.
Yeah, I think that my publicist sent that out as well. Yes, it's the first time I ever actually saw my face.
So next up is this interesting one too, I think, is as someone with Crohn's disease, I'm especially interested in knowing if do you really not have to poop? Because blood seems like it'd be tough on the stomach.
Sure. Yeah, no poo-poos, no pee-pees. In fact, I still run on 100% efficiency.
Wow.
I don't know where all the crap goes, but if it's like any of the rest of the crap, it's probably to New Jersey. Just kidding. I love you, Jersey. Just kidding.
To Tromaville, is that where it goes? It gets put in barrels and taken to Tromaville.
Oh, thank you, Howard. You're so good to me. Yes, exactly. Man, it is getting stuffy in this castle. I tell you what. Open that window.
You need to let Pete take him for a walk and let him air out or something.
No, he's fine. We don't deal with Pete. He's back in the cage. If he wants to go on a walk, he can figure a way to escape.
He can walk around the cage, huh?
Yeah, sure.
Hi, I'm Evan Jordan from Void Video, and I'm here to talk to you today about something that's been weighing very heavy on my mind, and that's werewolf abuse. Did you know that there's over 12 werewolves in captivity around the world, and that over 14 of those werewolves are mistreated? And I know what you're thinking. The math doesn't add up. Well, neither does werewolf abuse.
He is a rotten werewolf skank who rolls in his own duties, so he stays locked in the tight dungeon. How long have you even been in there, Pete? 3 centuries. Wow, that's a long time. I don't even know if he eats in there.
Do you like werewolves, baby?
Uh-huh.
Are you all my personal breed?
I pass them every night.
See, my kid plays with werewolves at night in the yard unsupervised. It's time to end this nonsense.
Everything you know is in your mind.
This might be a bit of a touchy subject, Drac, but wooden stakes, are they really your Achilles heel?
I think they are everybody's Achilles heel. I mean, if you're going to get stabbed through the heart with a stake, that's going to do some damage. I don't care who you are.
That's a good point. I don't think I could withstand it.
Hey, let's not find out, okay?
Yeah.
Best answer.
And you know, there's this quite debated subject of, do you sparkle, do you melt, or do you lose your powers? Because some say you do a little of each. What actually happens when you step into the sunlight?
Well, it smells like burning Dracula, and then I almost immediately burst into flames. So I try to avoid that whenever possible.
Yeah.
Being on fire. I don't know if you've ever tried it. Being on fire, no good.
I haven't, but I've watched Ghost Rider, and his face looks like it hurts.
Yeah,
so,
don't do that.
Yeah. So can you really not enter someone's home unless you're invited in, or are you just courteous?
Why would you not invite me into your home? You know, I'm a nice guy. If a nice Dracula who has good manners nicely asks you into his home, of course you would say yes. Let me into your homes.
I would let you into my house.
Yes, excellent. Who do you know, Jordan?
Do you actually get more powerful with age, Dracula? Because I mean, you look quite powerful, and I can clearly see that you get better looking with age.
You know, I would say yes, that is a true. And that is because I watch all the Tybos with the Billy Blanks. And I think it's less about supernatural powers and more about, you know, just self-care, being good to yourself, getting up early in the morning with a purpose, and probably not trying to submit to your deepest, darkest desires to be a mass murderer. So yes, I would say that everyone ages like a fine wine or blood.
And I think you've just debunked like all of the mainly argued vampiric points. And you know, you surprised me because more of them were true than I anticipated.
Yeah, well, you know, once you've been alive for a long time, you're gonna have some people talking some crap.
That's true. That's true.
So, you know, maybe things get brought out in the closet that we don't want to talk about, but hey, own it, baby. You know, own it. And that's the only way we can really heal and then make an incredible TV show that everyone loves.
And that's exactly what you've done. you know, all these TV tropes and these false depictions of vampires in media, how do they make you feel, Jack?
They make me feel sad. Mostly just for the fact that it's hard to grow a community when everybody thinks that being a vampire is a terrible thing. You know, I mean, yes, there are alternatives to ripping out people's throats and supping upon their life force. So we don't all have to be horrible monsters, even though we are portrayed as such, and yes, a lot of that was true. But let's move forward. You know, we got to move this story forward here. Because, you know, it gets old. It gets old doing that stuff for like 1,000 years, you know?
Yeah, you probably get bored.
Yeah, eventually you get really lonely because nobody wants to hang out with you.
Yeah, and what can the listeners themselves do to help fight these misconceptions and improve human perception of vampires?
Well, the first thing to do would be watch Dracula's Kung Fu Theater, starring me, Dracula, and also to engage in the social medias, be it the Facebookings or how the tweets work, and just spread the word, you know? Somebody should start a group out there just being like, vampires aren't bad, or, you know, hey, you shut up talking bad about vampires, and spread the word. It's we could really have a big, strong community that could easily take over the world, but wouldn't, because we're not bad people.
You would help improve the world is what you would do. And as soon as this is over, I'll be going and starting r/vampires are misunderstood.
Yes. Vampires. Yes.
Well, Dracula, I want to thank you so much for coming and talking to me about your awesome Kung Fu show that everybody can watch on Retro TV every Friday or on the It's Real Good TV app.
Yes, well, thank you, Evan. I have enjoyed being on the Video Void to be able to express some of my personal opinions and dispel the fact that I am a horrible monster that still terrifies the people of Transylvania. Thanks for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely, Dracula, and thanks again. And Pete, I know you won't tell him for me. I was gonna say tell Pete goodbye for me, but I know you won't tell him. So goodbye, Pete.
He says goodbye. See, I'm a nice guy.
Well, Dracula, I hope you and Pete find something awesome to go watch, and I look forward to watching the next episode of Dracula's Kung Fu Theater.
I look forward to hearing from you again.
Absolutely, we'll get on the emails just like you said.
That's right.
Yeah, and maybe
We are
one
best
day,
friends now. You already said it.
Hey, I said it. You're right. I said a lot of things on this episode, and I'm like you said, I'm gonna own it.
That's right. A man of his word.
Well, sing us out here, Drac. Perfect. I love it.
My name is Dracula, and I am here to say I love VHS Kung Fu films in a major way. No longer a monster who drinks human blood. Now I watch films in my castle with my werewolf blood. Take it, Pete! No, cut, stop the music. You've ruined it. Now this is crap. In the intro!
It's Dracula's Kung Fu Theater, starring Dracula, Pete the Werewolf, Howard, and featuring Transylvania's censorship stooge, Yarmo Radu. It's Dracula's Kung Fu Theater.
Only on RetroTV!
Oh man, this is so embarrassing right now.
Is your hair okay, Drac?
Well, it's getting there. I'm sorry, I did not expect for this to happen.
No, you're fine, man. You're fine.
This is your fault.
This
is your fault, Pete.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure out what I did.
No, he's stinking it up hardcore in here.
Oh, the stench made it your hair run.
Yeah, it's that bad.
Oh man,
It's that bad.
that's
Telling you, man, that werewolf junk, no good.
It's your, I think, you know, Dracula, it could be your sense of smell, you know, too, is a bit, it's strong, you know?
Yeah, it changes a little when you become undead. That's for sure.
You know, your paper that I want to thank you in person for you guys sending me the cool box with the, you can't see it, but the sticker of Dracula's Kung Fu Theater is on the other side of you right now on my
Oh,
MacBook.
very nice.
So, yeah.
Have you used the pogs yet?
I've got them all stacked up, man, and ready to go. I've got them
That's
sitting
right.
beside. I actually have some pogs from when I was like 6.
Heck
and
yeah, brother. You
I
need to
put
get
them all
a slammer.
together. Heck yeah, I do. I don't know where my slammer's at anymore. I gotta obtain one of these. I feel like Amazon could help me with that.
Now, what was the last question you were asking me?
I don't know. Pete distracted me with his stench back there, and I couldn't